What's up everybody, it's Max Made It, back at it again with a new video, and today I'm breaking down a super dark, sinister sample in the style of Nardo Wick or Future for Nardo Wick's new album called Who Is Nardo Wick 2. And yeah, I'm super excited to break this down, got a lot of sauce to show y'all, and yeah, let's just get into it. Here's a little preview of the sample. So to start off this sample, I went and got a MIDI from my boy Rhino, who's a crazy producer. I'm gonna leave his at somewhere up here. And yeah, I was just looking for some dark, hard-hitting shit, and this one was right on the money. So I'm just gonna play the piano real quick for y'all. So it's the same MIDI for both of them. I didn't bring one of them up an octave or anything. I wanted to keep like the voices of the piano fairly in the pocket. And for the first piano, I have this Metal Soft and Large preset from Piano V2, and I just brought down the reverb mix. Going into this shallow water emulation. You don't know what a shallow water pedal is? It's basically a super crazy pedal which gives your sounds just this modulated flutter that sounds super dope, especially on dark samples like this. And if you want to know how I made this effect chain, I'll leave a link for the video for it that I found in the description. And yeah, there's a sketch cassette on here for like the flutter control, as well as a filter freak, which manipulates the sample rate that the pedal runs through. And then we have a reels on the excited tape preset, as well as an EQ. And for the second piano, I use the default. I just messed with the gain and the master EQ a little bit. And we have an EQ, as well as the same shallow water emulation. Going into another reels on the bad tape preset, but I left the hiss and motor up a bit to really give it that vintage feel, and reverb intensity on this omnipresence preset, which really gives the piano more movement and ambience, and another EQ, just a simple bandpass, can't go wrong. For the next sound in the sample, I have this like Celeste bell, and I copied the MIDI over, but as you can see I added to it a bit, and yeah, I'm just gonna play that real quick. And yeah, the sound being used here is this synth glockenspiel from, I don't know what bank it's from, but it's from Analog Lab. And for the effects, we have a soothe, just getting rid of some of the high resonance, going into an EQ on a simple bandpass. This shaper box where I have a halftime with the mix down to 65% and the length on half a bar, and a sidechain with the mix turned down on 1/4. Going into a pitch wheel where I turned it up an octave and then brought the mix down and brought down the timbre as well. And another EQ, just taking out some more lows and then boosting some highs. And then we have the same shallow water emulation here, a plate reverb, and a Brauer motion stereo to move the sound around your head. Next up, we have a pad from Analog Lab that I'm going to play right now. And yeah, they're not even really chords, they're just kind of like little stabs that really add to the body of the sample. And the preset that's being used here is this collective preset from Noah Cuz. And for the effects, we have a simple bandpass, an LFO tool, a decimort to lower the sample rate but give it some saturation at the same time, the same shallow water emulation, an EQ to just take out some lows and lower some peaks, a soothe to fix some of the resonance in the low end. Next up, I added a little accent that I'm going to show right now. And the one shot that I used is a run from 5NXY's kit called Nepal, and the only effects that I put on that were just this plate reverb on this chorus plate preset, as well as a plexi tape, which is a fire tape echo. Don't sleep on this plugin. And one little cool thing I did here, if you just take a look at the automation, you can see that the first set of accents is panned all the way to the left, and then the second is panned all the way to the right, just to catch the listener's ear a little bit more. Next thing I added was the string. And yeah, I went into SRX Orchestra and grabbed this Arco Bass preset. Not really sure if I'm pronouncing that right. Going into an EQ where I took out some lows and messed with some of these frequencies here. Same shallow water emulation again. This isotope vinyl to make the sound a little bit darker. A spring reverb and a Brower Motion stereo. Alright, next up is the really crazy part of this sample. I recorded my own children's choir. And basically, if you don't know, this was kind of popularized by Q-Beats. I'm pretty sure they have their own set of kids that sing their choirs for them, but I don't got that. I'm not Q-Beats, so I had to do it myself. So I'm just going to play it real quick.
You better run, you better hide. She climbs up into her arm and she gets high. You're on the run from what you might consider as your demons, but they'll comfort you all night.
So if you take a look here, you can see there's about, I did 15 takes, 5 in my normal singing voice, and then another 5 where I was singing like that, and then another 5 where I was singing like this.
No, God!
So for the basic mix down of these vocals, we got 2 Bruce fries to just take out the background noise, an elastic pitch to bring the foreman up. Me personally, I don't have a really nice mic. I record all my vocals on my phone, and I found that bringing up the foreman with plugins like Little Altar Boy really messes with the pitch in a way that I don't really like. And I found that this plugin is just clean in every way, and I've never run into an issue like that with it before. A CLA 7.6, this S1 imager, an EQ, another EQ, and then a fog convolver, which is a super fire convolution reverb from Audio Thing, a plate reverb with the mix turned down significantly, a delay, tape 201 with this vocal easy whip. I use this on almost every vocal I do. I find that it just gives it the perfect blend with the sample. And yeah, I basically just pan these around a bunch and mess with the volumes to really like make it sound like there were multiple people singing this, and I think it turned out great. And then for the additional effects, there's just another EQ with the bandpass taking some peaks out, the same shallow water emulation, LFO tool, and then mid-side matrix. Next up, I added a flute one shot from Al Hug's kit, and I just reversed it as well as brought the fade up and repeated it 4 times, and I'll play that right now. And the only effects on that are just this bandpass EQ, a spring reverb, and a plexi tape again for delay. Next up, I added the synth brass. And the synth and the sound that I got for this is from the Prince, which is Frank Duke's VS. And the sound I got for this is from the Prince, which is Frank Duke's VST. And then I added a guitar rig on this ambient wash preset, a soothe, and a neutron on this harp shimmer preset, which has a transient shaper, an exciter, an EQ, and a compressor, and then a decimort to just lower the sample rate again. And then the final sound that I added is just a chopped up version of the vocal before for a different section. And for this, I used Serato Sampler, and I clicked Set Slicer here, and it gave me all these chops. And then I just added an LFO tool and a tape delay on the same preset that I originally put on the vocal. And then for the master effects, I just have an EQ taking out low end around 40 Hertz. This God phaser on the 16 stage phaser preset to give the sample a little bit more movement. This good Hertz can opener to mess with the stereo separation, as well as this T-Rex Tape Machine 80 on the pristine mastering preset. And yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something. I have a lot more content in the vault for y'all. I'm really sorry I've been keeping y'all waiting. I have a kit dropping very soon. Be on the lookout for that. And yeah, thanks so much for watching. Until next time. Peace.